Hi guys, welcome to the most special episode of Fashionably Pernia Season 1 with one of my dearest friends, like for real.
For real?
Because I've said dearest friends before also. One of my
those
dearest
are not
friends.
real. Yeah. Those are not
No,
real.
they're real, but this is like for real. Sonam Kapoor. I don't really think Sonam needs an introduction. She's iconic in many ways. I've actually had so many people on this show who have named Sonam themselves without me probing them as their favorite, as their most stylish, and she's written about in that way. She's been pretty iconic, especially in fashion, for the last, I would say, 15 years or more. And yeah, we've been together through this journey. So I've
15 years.
Yeah. So I've actually seen her through this too. So it's really exciting, guys. Please welcome Sonam.
Hi. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. I just have to mention this first because I think I tell you privately, but I should acknowledge it publicly as well. Sonam is one of my most generous friends, and not just with your things and not just like monetarily or just like with those kind of things, but you're very generous with your time. You're very generous with your with the position you're in. You really help friends. You promote a lot of friends. You're very, very kind and generous, and I really want to thank you, honestly.
Oh, Pearl,
no,
I love
it's
you so
true because people don't.
With
your
you,
friends
I do
don't.
it for my entertainment.
Well, yeah, maybe, but a lot of maybe people don't give you credit for that. But I think one of your best qualities, aside from the fashion, is your generosity, and I think it's a very, very big
Not
deal.
my charming personality.
That also. But I'll put generosity.
Saying whatever, when my friends are stressed out every time I do an interview.
I think Rhea was saying I stopped watching her interviews.
Daddy Sheila was like, "You're doing an interview with Pernia?" I was like, "She's like, we're all going to call her up and see what you're going to say."
Oh God! But the best part is that no one knows what Sonam's going to say. No one knows. No one can predict what's going to come out of her mouth. That's like the most exciting thing. I think that's also why you're also a very.
But now I think I've become much better. I think it's only in our personal conversations where all my bhadas of saying whatever I want comes out.
I know. Isn't it nice to be free? Just say what you want without the stress of like, people who think too much, they're not free, I feel.
No, I don't know if it's about being free or saying what you want. I feel with age, we become a little more sensible. I think that's the right word to, because sometimes opinions are not warranted in a certain situation. And there's not much you can do with one opinion. Sometimes it can be more damaging than helping the situation.
Yeah.
And I've realized that even though I've never given my opinion without, I always feel like my moral compass is right, but I've never given my opinion without having thought about it before also. But I also realize that sometimes saying one thing will not help the situation, especially if it's something that you really believe in. And sometimes actions are louder than words, and you need to you have to do something about it. Whether like what do you call them? The social media warriors. What is it called? Twitter warriors, Instagram warriors. What are they called?
I don't know.
What it's like.
Who are they? Like the people who take up causes?
Causes, yeah.
Okay.
And I think, sometimes I feel like sometimes when you say less, and if it's just one thing, it has more of an impact. There was, I remember during Nija, I was at the National Awards, and there was an actor who won the same category as me. And he was like, I'm really proud of the fact that you stand up for certain causes and all of that. He said that, Sonam, it's just an advice that I want to give you. He's like, you have a platform as an actor where with your art, actually you can say much more, and the choices you make, like even...
That's true.
Instead of just saying something, because then people will stop taking you seriously if you keep saying things all the time. And that sort of... And he said it so kindly, and it made such sense that it kind of switched my brain around. And I said it could be something like I'm picking up an outfit and I'm posting it on my social media and I'm wearing it of a designer from, let's say, Ladakh.
Yes.
And, of a community that's overlooked many times, and I wear something like that. Or I do a film with a certain director, or I work with a certain actor.
Yeah.
Or I'm a part of I think that makes more of a statement than me putting it out on social media. Or saying something, offhand in the news or in a press conference. And I think choices, they say the people you hang out with, the choices you make, and your actions and how you live your life say more about you than what you actually say.
That's so true.
That's even so you have a baby, right? Yeah. And I feel like so do I. And I realized that what's impacted me as a person is the way my parents are, and I think the way they are with each other and the way they treat us.
Yeah.
More than what they taught us, like
verbally. Yeah.
And
you learn from actions.
You learn from actions. And so that's what I'm doing now.
That's actually really good advice.
Can you imagine?
To me as well. Yeah. That's actually, you make a lot of sense. I feel like I learned something right now. Okay, now, I don't want to make this conversation too serious.
We're talking about fashion.
Yeah, we're here to talk about fun things. Okay, I want to just talk about the fact that, like, I know because I've been a part of your journey that this whole fashion icon status that you enjoy today, no, it's true. It was not a strategy. I think it just came into being because of who you intrinsically are. That's you know? And I think people maybe thought that this is something you work towards and you made it a thing, but this is just you. I've told so many people when Sonam is just doing her own thing in her house or she's just like meeting you for a coffee, she looks her best. It's like, this is who she is, So I think, what do you feel about the status you have been given, and how do you feel like, I believe it's a part of your personality. Do you believe that too, or there's an effort you have to make to keep up this iconic status?
There's nothing better than being yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's sustainable.
Yeah.
I love dressing up. I love fashion. I love clothes. I'm like a very old school. I've always dreamt of being an old school heroine.
Yeah.
Who's got that whole Solah Shringar thing happening. Like, I like to wake up in the morning, get my hair done, moisturize I like that whole thing,
routine
of
Shringar,
that whole thing. And I've always liked to dress in a certain way. I like to be dressed exquisitely all the time. It's just, even if I'm sitting at home and I'm wearing a white shalwar kameez, it has to be like a crisp white shalwar kameez with like my Kolhapuri chappals.
And there'll be piles.
And all of that.
You go the whole 9 yards.
It's like a very Indian cultural, South Asian cultural thing. I think it's a very Indian woman thing. It's something that I'm not, like, and Rhea is the opposite. She's got a very, like, American mindset of, like, being casual in her tracks. Which is amazing. I can't wear track pants. Like, I don't think that's I can wear track pants if I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, but not to chill.
Not to chill. Or I'm in London and it's freezing and then those track pants will also be like styled with like motorcycle boots or something like. It's just who I am, I like it. And you're similar.
I'm similar. Maybe not as extreme as you, because I do like my track pants at home and my pajamas. Maybe not as extreme as you, but I am similar. I think that's why we vibe.
I like my silk pajamas.
Yeah. And you like once in a while Anoki also.
Anoki, I love
Anoki. Anoki is quite a style statement.
I love Anoki. Today in the morning I was in Delhi, you have to wear Anoki. It's too hot in the summer.
I know. You need a cotton kaftan basically. That's what they make.
I wear my cotton kaftan and it's like I like to oil my hair and it's like that vibe.
That's your self-care mode. Anoki is your self-care mode.
100%.
I wanted to ask, how important is it, do you think, for an actor to have a good sense of style, to be recognized for their style, for their career? When we were starting out, when we started our careers, but even now more so, how important do you think the overall image is? I mean, of course, they have to be a good actor, but do you think it really helps them? Do you think it's helped you?
So the people that you think of when it comes to the actors who, we like look up to.
Or made an impact.
Made an impact. Whether it's Audrey Hepburn, whether it's Marilyn Monroe, whether it's Meena Kumari, whether it's Madhubala, whether it's Rekha Ji, Wahida Rehman, including Jaya Bachchan, they're all known for the way they dressed up.
That's true.
Sharmila Tagore.
Yes.
They've always had a certain... They're stylish
and finesse.
Even if you look at the heroes, right? Like they always have a certain zing to them. I wouldn't call it it's a personality.
And style is a part of personality,
right? It's how I always feel clothes are the first layer of how you introduce yourself to people.
Right.
Who you are says a lot about the way you dress.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it doesn't have to be me. I mean, the way Wahida ji dressed is very different than what Meena Kumari ji or Madhubala dressed like. But they all had a very certain style and aesthetic. Or like you think of Sharmila Tagore and you think of the liner.
Of course.
Or you think
the
of
wing liner.
The wing liner. So there's always a statement, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. I think it's important. Like, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, you know, girls these days. But like when I look at Janhvi, her style is very specific to her. And I like that. It's very like Baba Boom, and it's very like, I know when I see a dress, I'm like, Janhvi's going to wear that dress. You know, it's very Jessica Rabbit. It's like what like
old Hollywood glamour. I think she likes that. She likes a lot of makeup as well.
Yeah, and I think that vibe is her vibe. At least there's a vibe. It's not like cookie cutter, you know.
Right.
You know, that hair and that lipstick and that skin and the way she poses. It's very her.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. It's very different from her mom. Who loved, you know, loved dressing up very much so, you know. And then Khushi has a very cool girl vibe, like she's very cool. So they have the two distinct personalities, but then there are other girls also who are pretty cookie cutter. But, you know, I feel like Janhvi is the most promising because she has a vibe. It's a different vibe.
Yeah. So that little extra style quotient helps you stand out from everybody else.
Absolutely.
And it does help your stardom to a certain extent.
100%.
Also, I have to say, Sonam, even after all these years, I mean, a lot of brands are interested in you because of your style, right? I mean, no, like honestly, like a lot of brands want a woman in their 30s to be their ambassador because, you know, she looks a certain way, she carries herself a certain way. Other actors, maybe not so if they don't have the same kind of, you know. It does help, I think, having that extra style quotient, especially when it comes to brands as well. And brands do help you make a star because they put you out there. They're paying money to put you out there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it all helps. Who do you think in Hollywood has an edge because of their style? Or like in the West? Or whose style do you love?
Whose style do I like? I think right now Katie Holmes is amazing.
Yeah, she's been nice.
I really like. I love.
She's a minimalist, huh? You're a maximalist.
I know, but I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know. I really like what Jennifer Lawrence is doing as well, like with her street style. I think is very cool. Like the top to toe row looks. I think it's pretty amazing. In terms of like Zendaya, I think is so cool.
Full icon.
Amazing and always like aptly dressed, you know, for each event.
She takes chances and stuff.
She takes
which
chances,
is nice.
and it's great. So I think these three are incredible right now.
Yeah.
And I always have loved Charlize Theron, and I think it's just because she's classic and beautiful. Yeah.
And I wanted to also ask this. You were at the Ambani wedding, which was covered very heavily on style. That's why I want to ask this. And you wore that amazing outfit by that Ladakhi designer, which is, I think, a statement in itself, like you mentioned in the beginning. Like you're making a statement without having to say anything.
Yes.
It was so beautiful. But who else do you think, give me one look that you really liked from that wedding? It was a lot. There was
amazing. I loved Isha's blouse. You know, the jewel blouse. I think it was beautiful.
I just thought that the blouse was nice, but she didn't need 2 necklaces with that blouse because it was a lot.
You know, honestly, when you see it in person,
it was nice.
It was beautiful, and also because everybody was dressed.
Actually, maybe in that atmosphere it looked okay.
It was beautiful. And I loved Radhika's wedding, her signing outfit.
The Tarun one.
It was like outstanding.
We discussed it. It was so beautiful.
It was outstanding. I think it was beautiful. I think that was, honestly for me, that was like the best look of the whole thing. Because when you saw her in person, it was just ethereal. I like those two. I really like that. And then, well, everything Abu Sandeep did was, and I love Natasha. Natasha Poonawala's like the sari look was gorgeous.
That was very cool.
That was really cool.
That was very cool. Even her Torani sari I like the Torani look with the umbrella.
That was so chic.
The Torani look was very chic.
I think it was amazing. I think Natasha looked really, really good.
Yeah. I liked Isha the first day, and I think it was Louis Vuitton. The sheer the sheer black dress. Who was it by? It was beautiful.
I don't.
It was a sheer black dress. It was just so chic.
I
thought she
liked
looked
her
very
Miss
good.
Sohi look a lot.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
was
the
very
Miss,
nice.
that was beautiful.
Again, I would have skipped the necklace, but I did like the look. The look was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah.
I think it was a Bhagat necklace. It was amazing, Pernia. And the
Necklace is stunning. There's no
It's
doubt.
amazing.
But you know, I'm a minimalist.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
like.
I would like.
So
I know
she
you
would wear 3 more necklaces
I would wear
on top
like
of
4
that.
more.
Yeah.
I would wear
For
all
me,
the
like I
jewelry.
always like to remove one thing and just let that's my
I know
style.
Rhea and you constantly trying to get me to remove stuff, but I will wear the earrings and the bow and the ring.
Yeah.
So I'm the wrong TG for this conversation,
that's
but I'm
true.
just like
I mean, we have a
module
different sense of what we
aesthetic.
like too. Yeah. Okay, amazing. I really wanted to get into also like changing style with like obviously age and changing bodies.
Yes.
We know it because
Yes,
we
we've
went
had
through
babies,
We've
yeah.
had babies, and I mean I can speak for myself. I gained 20 kilos.
I gained 32.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, like even when you are someone who loves to dress up, 'cause so am I, so are you, and your body completely changes and then you
Yeah.
have to dress for that body. I mean, how has that whole experience been for you fashion-wise and dressing up-wise and self-esteem-wise, you know?
Honestly, initially I was traumatized.
Yeah.
In a way where, you know, even though people say it, you feel like once the child comes out, you'll be back to normal.
You hope you'll be
No,
back to
I know.
normal.
Honestly, you feel
Yeah.
like everything is going to be fine, but and you're so obsessed with your baby, you're really not thinking about like working out or eating right and stuff like that. Because
Yeah, initially, of course, yeah.
You know, you're obsessed and you're breastfeeding and you're in pain and there's so much going on. It took me a year and a half to. I took it really slow, Pernia.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
you have to be slow because you need to adjust with the new you, and everything in your life changes. You know, your relationship with yourself changes, with your parents change, with your husband, everything changes,
Yeah.
and you cannot rush into feeling. You're never going to feel the way you used to feel about yourself, about anything in this world. You're never going to feel the same way about your body. And I just feel like your body is a metaphor for what your life,
A new life. Yeah,
and it's a new change. And you need to see, I've always accepted myself for who I am, right? And I was like, I need to accept this version of myself. I'm never going to look the way I looked at 16. I'm never going to look the way I looked at 25. And now I'm 38 and this is the way I am. I've had a baby and this body has made this child, and that's incredible. And it's
Exactly.
And so it's you know, you have to accept it and you have to take your time in accepting it. And once that acceptance comes, then you start dressing. Like I've always dressed for my body parts. You know, I've been different sizes. You've dressed me in different sizes.
That is what makes you very stylish, because you know how to dress for your body. Everything you wear is very flattering on you, and people need to understand that. And that's the key.
And that changed with with having a baby, because I always, if you notice, I always wore things that were loose and very bohemian. It was like very Chloe and very like old Celine. Like it was always like that, right? Like in my real life, I'm not talking about appearances. Like you've seen me, I've always dressed a little more bohemian, right? And the skinnier you are, the better it looks when you're dressed in that way. And that had to change. I had to wear a little more tight-fitting clothes to accentuate the new curves that I've gained. And so it's not like I've lost my body, I've gained curves. Is how, you know, I've been putting these positive like affirmations to myself, like I've gained curves, as opposed to saying that, oh, you know, I've lost that slimness, that elegant, like I've always had, like I always feel like I've looked like a model, where I've always had that leanness to me. So that sort of stuff, like it's like rejigging your brain to think in a different way. You know, it's fine. I mean, I think with like time heals everything. Including, you know, everything about yourself. So this is now my.
I mean, right, but I think now you're back in shape, like at least if like fitness wise.
No, I've been working out a lot, but I'm still 6 to 7 kgs off from what I was before I got pregnant. And I don't ever know that I'm going to get back to that.
Which is also okay.
Which is fine.
Okay, so I wanted to actually get into a segment which I know that everybody would be most interested in. Actually, maybe because I want to get into because I am most interested in this. I want to discuss your favorite looks. Of mine And you are allowed to say yours as well.
Okay, fine. So where are the pictures?
No
Are they-
pictures.
no,
We don't. Pictures will
Pictures
come
come
later.
later. On,
Pictures
on.
we'll plug in.
Superimpose,
Pictures
huh?
we'll plug in. Yeah. So should we do all-time favorites?
Okay, you start.
You start with 3, then I'll say 3.
My
Or you do
all-
1-1. How do you
okay,
want to do it?
We'll do. I'll tell you my 3. I know you're not going to agree with them.
Okay, but
but
tell me your
I
3.
will tell you. I think my first can, which was the Jean Paul Gaultier.
I agree with that.
Okay,
it was
fine.
amazing. Wait, I want to give a small anecdote about that.
Okay, tell me.
A journalist, when she went to Cannes, she wore this amazing Jean Paul Gaultier for the first time. She went.
It's an archive.
It's an
I think,
archive
couture
dress. It
dress.
was white. It was stunning, and it fit her like a glove. A journalist called me because they knew I used to work with her, style her, and I'm her friend, and asked me if Sonam got butt implants before wearing this dress.
And Pernia was like, that's her butt. She
I was
doesn't wear a
like,
tight fit.
Yeah, I was like, what? Anyways, and now butt implants are like a thing. Back in the day, it wasn't even a thing. I was like, I don't even know what you're saying. Anyway.
I have a big butt.
Anyway, next one.
My next one is my wedding look.
Yeah.
Anuradha Vakil, I love that.
Yeah.
I love
The
that.
red.
The red.
Yeah.
Which was which actually was chosen to be put in the
NMACC
museum
exhibit, right?
Exhibit, yeah. I think that's because it's very simple, but it's very, very classic. It was all made out of real gold thread, and since I've known Anuradha, I've always known that she would make my wedding outfit.
Yeah.
And I think I love that look, and maybe it's also because it was my wedding.
Personal also.
Personal
no? It has a personal
thing.
sentiment
And
to it.
the third one would be, I don't know what's my favorite. I think it was my Anamika that I wore to the Filmfare Awards.
Which one? The one with the cape? And then
Yeah,
the
with the
whole
cape.
world started
What's it?
making capes after
Yes,
that?
yes,
Yeah.
that one, the white one.
Yeah. That time when you did the cape and the choker,
That was the first time.
Nobody was doing it.
Yeah, nobody was doing it.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think those 3 kind of, I felt most myself in those 3 outfits. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you mine, but I think mine I'm going to say more recent.
Okay.
And not that because you weren't super stylish since forever. It's because I also have memory issues.
Sure, yes,
and I think
yes.
the recent ones are in my mind
Okay,
just better.
okay.
So I think the Ladakh designer outfit
Yeah.
at the wedding that you wore.
Yes.
I honestly don't know one other person in this entire country who could wear it and look like that.
Because I was covered from here to here.
Firstly, nobody covers themselves fully. And secondly, because I don't think anybody would represent that culture, that outfit, that design as well as you
Okay.
did. It was so stunning, and it was such a nice statement. It was so different from what everybody else was
And
doing.
everything I wore was
The
passed
jewelry,
down.
the hair, everything was seamless, I thought.
It was everything. The necklace
Yeah.
my mother-in-law gave to me. It was a vintage old.
It was a beautiful necklace.
It was
Yeah,
vintage.
yeah.
It's her necklace that I kind of added pieces to. The bracelet was a vintage, like almost 200 years or 300 years old bracelet that my Masi gave me. And the pajabs were also from her. And my earrings were from my mom.
Amazing.
And the pajabs are also very old. So nothing. And 99% of the jewelry that I wore at the wedding was all
Personal.
Personal, yeah.
Yeah, which again, people don't really do at events that are covered in the media. And then there was a Rick Owens look you did recently.
Yes.
It was a black on black. It was a gown,
sari,
a
it's
dress.
a sari.
It was a sari?
It's actually.
I thought it was a gown.
It is a gown, but it's a sari. If you see that whole collection, it's a sari inspired gown.
And then you wore a jacket
Jacket
over
on
it
it.
and the gloves.
Yeah. I love that look. That was one of my favorite looks,
that
actually.
was excellent.
Yeah. Can I tell you an anecdote about it?
Tell me,
I
please.
actually, by mistake, wore it
Ulta. The dress.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. It looked amazing.
I know, but it's supposed to be worn the other way around, and I didn't realize it because I was a little rushed because I hate when it comes to work things, I'm never late.
Yeah.
And I actually reached before time. Again,
Today she was exactly on time. I was really surprised.
yeah, and
which is amazing.
so I'm like, when it comes for work, I'm always on time. When it's not work, I'm never on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the third one recently from your style that I love is when you were attending a Dior show in Paris and the entire beige thing with the newsboy cap.
I love that.
And the whole trench.
Yeah. That was
The simplicity of it.
Simple, yeah.
And the monochrome and And then of course Nam's makeup.
Yeah, always
Yeah, but
Namrata.
it was just so like
I like the
fresh.
pink outfit that I wore for the Dior show in India as well with the necklace.
Stunning.
I thought that was really, and honestly, that was at it was just like 3 or 4 months after Vayu was born, and I was like, I have to go for this show. When was it? In January?
It was not in January. It was in I want to say it was around Sophia's birthday. So it was March or April.
Yeah, and so I think it was like Vayu would have been 6, 7 months old.
Yeah.
And I was pretty big at that time, and the fact that I was just, and Nikki, who's one of my closest friends as well, who also styles me. It's weird that my friends end up styling me, right? Pernia,
All
Nikki.
her friends, she chooses friends who have that talent.
No, but he put that color was just so pretty, and I felt so good in that outfit as well. It was the first time I actually felt amazing after
having a baby.
Yeah.
And imagine like clothes are so transformative.
Yeah.
As is makeup, it can make you feel like that. It can make you feel so good when you maybe are not feeling so good. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the power of like a beautiful outfit or an outfit that fits you right. You know.
People don't give enough credit. People think that people associate with fashion might be vapid or might be superficial, and all of these words are actually attributed to people who like fashion, enjoy fashion. But we need to understand that fashion actually documents history.
Of course.
If you look at the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, what the socioeconomic, the time that people are going through, culturally, socially, economically, politically, is how we see the fashion evolve because of that. We feel makeup evolve because of that. Anything that you see. So you look at the 1800s as well, the way people dressed, everything. You see an image,
the whole society and culture through that.
You see a dress and that's the 70s.
Yeah.
And why was it like that? That was the whole hippie culture. People were dressing in that way. Why was it like that? And so all that so fashion is very important in documenting what people are going through at that time.
100%, 100%. And showing history and time and all those things.
Everything, yeah.
And evolution of culture and techniques and so many things.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another question. So in film, we've said like your looks in general, but in terms of film costume, which film do you think you had the best costumes in?
Aisha.
No, you don't have to say this just because I tell everybody on the show this one.
No, but Aisha I think is, this is my third film that I was shooting, and it was I think we started working on it before Delhi 6 released.
I think so, yes.
Yes,
yeah.
so I was like, I was 22 or 23. I was 22 when we started working on the film. I was 23 when we filmed it, and 24 when the film released. And I've told everybody I'm 38 now, so this is like a while back. And so Pernia and I have been friends since then. And Pernia did the clothes for the film, and it was, I think that we used a lot of clothes from my wardrobe, from Pernia's wardrobe. We used clothes from all our wardrobes, and obviously we shopped a lot as well.
A lot of vintage. We shopped in Sarojini also, in vintage stores also.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I think Delhi 6. Anamika did the clothes for Delhi 6. So a lot of people don't know this, but Anamika's done my clothes in Delhi 6, Mausam, एक लड़की को देखा, प्रेम रतन धन पायो. Anamika, Pernia was supposed to do that. I had asked Pernia to do प्रेम रतन धन पायो.
But I think Anamika would do a way better job anyway.
But Anamika makes the costumes. She doesn't
put the look together.
I put all the looks together.
But you are a very good stylist. I told you from day one.
No, but it's fine. So those three films, I think Prem Ratan was amazing as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my favorite. In terms of Sonam's costumes, my favorite look was Savarya.
Anuradha
The costumes in Savarya
were insane.
Oh,
I kind of forget.
They could be a part of somebody's wardrobe forever. Those are the kind of clothes you can gift to your daughter and granddaughter. They're like heirloom pieces. They were so beautiful and classic.
All Anuradha Vakil.
What a good job she did. Yeah.
I mean, she's never done it after. She's never done it before. Anuradha and me have a very special relationship, and if anybody knows textiles, if anybody knows anything about embroidery, she works in museums, and Anuradha Vakil is the most underrated designer in our country.
Yeah.
and her clothes are just outstanding. And so for me, she just made that character for me, you know.
So beautiful. And I think to have it as your debut,
Yeah,
and debut with her clothes, it's something
amazing,
else. you know?
amazing. And the first people to ever dress me actually for promotions or anything were Abu Sandeep, obviously.
Yeah,
My uncles, my godfathers, I would call them,
Yeah.
but like, you know. So I think just the combination of basically having Anamika, Anuradha and Abu Sandeep kind of put looks for me. You know, that time you weren't borrowing clothes, right?
Yeah.
But because I'd grown, like I knew them so well, they were the ones who were giving me clothes to wear during promotions.
Also because, I mean, they knew that the clothes were looking very good on you. It also helps, no? Wouldn't give it to everybody, I'm sure. But yeah, ticket. So I think that was your best look.
Thanks.
Yeah, so beautiful. Now this whole style quotient that you have and interest, and I know Anand, who's Sonam's husband, has a very, very keen eye for style and fashion, as well.
Yeah.
Have you guys passed it on to Vayu? I hear he has a thing for caps.
And sneakers.
And sneakers.
Yeah,
Sneakers comes from Anand.
Yeah. Shoes.
Yeah.
At this point, he doesn't like wearing clothes.
Oh.
He's like constantly
an exhibitionist, a
he likes,
nudist.
he just likes to like he likes to roam around in his diaper all the time.
Yeah.
And
be free.
Free. Yeah, he wants to be free, but he loves wearing shoes and he loves wearing hats. Like
Cute.
caps. And I think it's because he sees his Nana and his Dada, they both like to wear caps.
When they're working out and
They're
stuff?
working out, and my dad constantly like wears all these, like he has like different types of, you know, this pants. He's always in a different hat, like a cowboy hat or like a baseball cap or some sort of like, he has these like he's got a weird, like a lot of caps and hats. So he loves it, you know.
Yeah, and he's obsessed with his Nana as well.
He's obsessed with his Nana, he's obsessed with his Baba, his Dada. And he's obviously obsessed with his dad. So like it all comes from that vibe. Yeah.
Where did you get your style from? Your mom?
My mom and my Masi.
Yeah.
You know, they've always been interested. My mom used to be a fashion designer. In fact, you know, she used to, she had an amazing brand called Amaya. And she was the one who started ensemble with Tarun. So she, Abu Sandeep, Rohit Khosla,
They all started
Rohit
together.
Dal, they all started together.
Yeah.
And that's why
you know them too.
So I know them all very well because
Yeah.
of that. And so she was a glitterati before she went to ensemble.
Oh.
So, you know, and then obviously because she had 3 children, she just started doing jewelry. So fashion, my love for fashion comes from my mom.
Yeah.
She was wearing like Yoji and Comme des Garçons and all these designers, like, you know, she's got this very Japanese style of dressing, or she wears like very traditional Indian clothes.
Yeah.
Comes from my mom, and my love for art and interiors and anything beautiful comes from my Masi. And they in turn got it from my Nani.
I remember Sonam's Nani. She was very stylish. Always had a beautiful bindi.
Yeah. And
a very nice sari.
Not a stick-on bindi. She used to wear you know, they put wax and she always had red lipstick and red nail polish. And beautiful saris and always a string of pearls or, you know, or some, like always some strings of something, always the same. And she loved saris and she loved dressing up.
So style is inherited, right, I guess?
100%.
From like the people we grew up with
100%.
and people who influence us.
100%.
Some people are self-taught too, I guess.
I think so. I think...
Like Diljit, I feel like he's self-taught.
Yeah.
He's so stylish.
My brother has a very individual style, and that doesn't come from any of our family. That style of understanding, you know, he actually, I feel, is the most stylish man right now because of the way he dresses, the way it's like very different. It's not...
He does his own thing.
He does his own thing, and if you see the way he dresses, he's very cool. Like, it's very LA, but Indian, and very... It's like very, and his knowledge is insane, Burns, when it comes to that sort of style.
Yeah. Let's talk about Rhea for a second.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be a part of our chat, which we'll get her on soon.
She's media shy.
Yeah. No, we'll drag her in at some point. But I was going to ask, so Rhea gets this from your mom as well.
Yeah.
But how big a part is Rhea playing in your journey with your style in terms of being a fashion icon and continuing to give you these amazing looks? I think you and Rhea are like a team. That's what makes it really amazing as well, right?
We've always been a team.
Yeah.
But we feed off each other in a way where
You need a sounding board,
We
right?
need a
Which is
sounding
nice.
board.
Yeah.
But so when we were growing up, Rhea played with Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah.
I
You were the goth child. You
No,
liked
not
all-
no. I was reading. I
You
used
were
to
reading.
read. I was
Yeah.
reading, and I was into music and like that was my vibe. I was always
full
in
black was your
always
vibe
full
also,
black
no? Yeah.
always. I was like I was like reading Sylvia Plath, and I was
Yeah.
I was completely into that role.
Yeah.
Let's just say I was
Yeah.
like very arty and
Yeah.
like it wasn't the bow was not a part of my identity.
Yeah.
And I think when we grew up and I came back from boarding school and I started shopping, and Rhea and I started shopping at that like 17, 18 is when I basically became my sister's Barbie doll.
Oh, cute.
Because she was like, I became the person she wanted to dress, like put clothes on and like kind of create stories with, because that's what she did. That was her, she would create stories, like she would create
And
stories.
she's a very creative person, right?
Yeah.
So you were like her canvas, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, and we work very well together.
I mean, you guys started the whole like
stylist thing.
Well, that too. When I started like my career with Rhea and you, stylist was not such a big thing. And then I think I was one of the first people who was like a known costume designer stylist who was written about extensively, because Aisha got an extensive press for the clothes.
Yeah.
And then a stylist became like a whole thing.
Yeah, there was no stylist before that.
What
there was
were they, I guess? Dress designer or
No,
something?
they were costume designers in films who used to make costumes and then you would buy. But there was never a stylist that
to put the look together.
Or
Or maybe there was, but they didn't get enough, like, I guess, credit or
I think maybe Anaita,
visibility
but she was more in magazines.
For magazines,
which is more creative.
It slowly became like a big role. And I think obviously you guys had a big part to play in that.
For celebrities, I don't think there was a thing.
Also, this whole thing of taking photographs at home before leaving for events. I mean, there's no way anyone can take credit for that except for you guys. You started the whole thing that at home you put
I
a
like
nice
to give
backdrop. You and Rhea started this,
yes,
right?
because people, most of the clothes are lent to us because we feed off each other, right? If I wear something for a designer, people end up buying it, or vice versa. Maybe they don't buy it. I don't want to give myself that much credit. But I'm saying that's why when designers lend clothes, the only way to kind of, and I think it's amazing that people lend clothes to celebrities, and I think that's the one way where I can help the designer that's lending clothes to me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the photos in the press don't turn out as nice, or they're not.
You can't control the photos at the event.
And it's, they
right?
don't showcase the outfit.
Yeah.
And for me, because people were lending things to me, and this is way before social media became a thing.
A big thing, yeah.
I was like, okay, I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I'm just going to put all Facebook. And that time Facebook was like, I was like, I need to put it up just because the designers lent me this outfit. And it could be small designers.
And to give them good credit, a good photo, a good credit.
To the makeup and hair team that have worked so hard, and you put this look together. And it was, honestly, I did it for the designers. I did it for, international designers have a lot, they already have so much, but there are so many small international designers that I work with, or, all these small designers, to give them that image of me wearing it was just a way of,
helping them
in a way. So I'm like, listen, you've lent me this outfit. This is the least I can do so that,
That's what I was going to say about you being very generous also. This is, because all this takes time, no?
So it was never for,
it takes time.
It was never for social media.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was never that, oh, this is content. This is mostly because the photos weren't coming out right.
Yeah.
And people would break their backs to make something for beautiful for me, or Anamika is lending me something and she's overnight making something for me, and that the photo is not right. I would feel horrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, they've not taken, I remember Manish Arora had made me this outfit for IFA, which was this gorgeous, beautiful outfit, and there was this one photo of me which was like a top angle photo, and it didn't do justice to the outfit. And I was like, how do you pay back in a way for people lending you clothes?
So now it's become like a thing.
Now
every actor does it. Now it's a part of their
every
their
influencer,
content.
stylist, everybody
does it now. Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing because people are lending us clothes.
Yeah, and you guys are trendsetters, so you do this and among many other things.
So a lot of the times, if the clothes are not lent, I don't take pictures. I don't take photos of the clothes that are not lent.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, guys, so for this little thing, I have to use my phone because I wrote some things down that I want to ask.
Okay.
And I thought maybe I'll forget, and I don't want to forget. Okay, so if you are a style icon, who is a beauty icon in India?
Beauty icon. I would say Rekha.
Yes. Oof. Does she really take like her baths in milk, or is this like
I
a
have
big
no
fat
idea. I'm
rumor?
gonna ask her.
Ask her.
I'm gonna ask her, but she's
Ask her and tell me, and I'll put it in the caption. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her. She's gorgeous.
Oof. Yeah. Totally. Okay. Most beautiful or stylish bride that you've ever seen, even in photos or in real life?
I think you.
Oh no, you're too kind.
No,
but honestly.
I honestly think
Yeah.
the farshi garara that you wore was one of my favorite looks at her wedding, and I think you look spectacular.
Thank you.
That is honestly my all-time favorite look. Yeah,
that's like for my mom's wedding also.
Yeah,
like
I think it was spectacular.
She also wore something like that. My favorite brides, I think I'm really biased towards Rampur and maybe that culture of like farshi gararas and that whole Nawab culture. These two girls who are from the royal family, who got married into the royal family, who are family friends of ours, of Rampur. Ananya and Shazli. Ali Khan is their full name.
I haven't seen.
Okay, so I'm going to put the photos on into the episode. These girls.
Oh, you should put your own photo on also.
Yeah, these girls, like a Rampuri bride
No,
special.
I honestly,
these girls looked spectacular.
I think that look of yours was just so beautiful, because I've seen a lot of. I really like that, and the hairband thing you wore.
Yeah, that was the Amrapali vintage piece.
It was stunning.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that was really, really beautiful, and I love that. That was at the Taj, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was in Bombay.
Bombay, yeah.
Okay. Your favorite Instagram handle that you like to follow for style, or like someone's personal style?
My favorite Instagram handle that I like to follow for someone's personal style.
Could be a friend also. Could be anyone.
I'm thinking. I think Rosie Huntington Whiteley.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, her style and my style are very, very, very different. And I think just, she always has, it's like black, white, and beige, like everything that she does.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so aesthetic, her Instagram handle. I love it.
So there's this woman, Kin Julian is her name.
Yes, I love her as well.
She's like a 70-year-old woman from Shanghai. She's a doctor.
Yeah.
She wears a lot of Prada and Miu Miu, but she has a very eclectic style. She's so cool. And her Instagram is so cool.
I know exactly.
Very eclectic. Again, not my style, but so cool to see.
And very like what I would like to dress like when I'm much older.
She's so like iconic and like to look up to. I look up to her style.
Yeah, so
and she just walked for Miu Miu.
Oh wow.
So she's a very big client. This lady is a very big client of Miu Miu.
Yeah.
So they made her walk in their fall winter 24 fashion show as a model.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The reason I like Rosie is because it is the opposite of my style.
Yeah.
Right?
Even this woman, this Kin Julian, is the opposite of my style. Sometimes it's really nice to admire people
exactly,
who have good style, but it's not your style.
And I love following the Instagram handle of The Row.
The Row, right? So cool.
It's because it's not only about fashion, it's about like everything that the brand is inspired by. And I think it's very, very cool.
I had one more fun thing to ask. Okay, absolute no when it comes to style, according to you. Like, what's your pet peeve? You're just like, guys, please, can someone just control this or stop this?
Platform chappals. Chappals that you have, which are like those rubber chappals with platforms.
This is a very Indian auntie staple.
Yeah, I just cannot. I don't understand. Like, you get like Stofa, and like even if you go to Sarojini and stuff like that, you can pick up like Kolhapuri chappals with a little bit of a heel or
You don't mind a Kolhapuri with a platform?
No.
Or you don't like it?
I'm not like the biggest fan of that.
I hate it. Actually,
I know.
Can I just say I'm sorry for everyone who wears it? I hate it.
No, so see,
Once I found it in my sister's wardrobe, I was like,
so see, I don't need to wear a heel.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not, there's no judgment because I'm like 5'10". So if I wear a sari, I can wear just chappals, plain chappals, or like mojiris or something, and everybody's not blessed with height.
But you can, my thing is that I don't like these platform chappals and these
but
Kolhapuri chappals, but you can get other wedges. Why don't you can wear other wedges?
Pernia, it's okay when that Kolhapuri chappals are also with those wedges are fine. Like there are some, like Aprajita does some. Have you seen Aprajita? She does like these
I've not seen hers, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe
and
hers are nice.
I
don't mind with the heel. I don't mind with the heel. But I don't like the platform.
No,
with
you
the
see
Kolhapuri.
hers. They are like beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't mind that. But if I see people like they wear these like I can't even explain to you. It's like foam, and then there's like a rubber. I can't. Like, it just cannot. And they wear it on the beach and all, and I'm just like.
And they wear the same thing under really formal outfits also.
Yeah.
But you can get very nice wedges and platforms if you need height, which are not this.
Yeah, and then, you can get it anywhere. I just cannot handle that. That is for me. Just like if you're wearing like Havanas or like rubber chappals, wear flat ones, especially if you're on the beach.
But some girls, because girls are very conscious about their height. And if a girl is conscious about her height, then she kind of wants a little bit of height everywhere.
So my mom's not
even
tall, and my mother-in-law is not tall, right?
Yeah.
But like, if they're like, they wear like flats all the time.
I know, but everybody's different. See, these women are very self-assured. Like, your mom is super stylish, and also with their age, they become more confident. But
And
I know young girls feel conscious about their height. They're told that, oh, itni choti hai. You know how Indians sometimes can be very mean and upfront about, physical traits.
But
so they feel conscious.
But you can wear
So I think you can, instead of this, you can wear other platforms. There are other kinds of platforms that are like, that just maybe nicer and more pleasing to the eye.
For me, that's a no-no.
Yeah, I think we agree here. Yeah. But tell me this now, you also are not bad at doing your own makeup. Unlike me, I'm terrible at doing my own makeup.
Okay.
Okay, wait 1 second. You're not as bad as me. So I think you're good.
Honestly,
but Namrata will disagree because she doesn't think you're good at doing your own makeup.
No, she thinks I'm good at it when I wear my lenses. I'm honestly, I have very...
You do makeup like when you can't see properly?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm in a rush. But actually, now I'm able to, because Nam started her academy, which takes up a lot of her time. I had no choice but to learn to do my own makeup sometimes.
So dramatic. Namrata, are you hearing this? Yeah, she's complaining about you.
She's hiding behind.
No.
I'm just joking now.
Bottom line is you're decent at doing your makeup, unlike me.
No, I love doing makeup.
Give people I hate doing it, but give people two, 3 tips on if they have to do it themselves, like how you do it yourself sometimes, what would they do?
So, one of the things that I love doing is basically, after I moisturize my face, so sunblock always has a little pallor in it. Like, it's like this like grayish pallor or a whitish pallor that it has, which creates a like whitish or grayish pallor on your face. I always mix foundation in my sunblock, and I kind of rub it into my face, like I massage it into my face, and then I always have whatever every Indian girl needs to wear corrector, because we have beautiful brown skin that we don't age. We age beautifully. Indians can age beautifully. So but we have melanin, so we have a tendency to have pigmentation. So we need to always correct and then conceal. Even if you're using less concealer, so you always have to correct and conceal, and nothing better than blush.
Yeah, I love blush. The one thing I do love is blush.
I love blush. I will always use blush over contour, and I love wearing lipstick and mascara, and that is my basic. I do a little bit of skin, and I do correction and concealing, and then I always do mascara and blush and a little bit of a lipstick, always. That's like my 5 things.
Go to. And then what about hair? You're blessed with very silky hair.
Yeah, my hair
You're lucky. You wash it and it's silky and straight.
Yeah, my hair, honestly, like I'm not the right...
you don't ever do it your hair, like Dyson your own hair like I did. Like, how did you get that wave?
Namrata did it for me.
But on your own, if you want a wave, you're like, forget it, I'll just keep it straight.
I have too much hair.
Yeah, too exhausting.
Too exhausting. I have a lot of that. Was again genetically inherited from my father.
But that's a good thing to have really good hair.
And I have very, very straight hair. So when I wash it, I don't ever blow dry it. I comb it and it falls straight.
So hair, you never do anything?
Never do anything.
Lucky girl. Because most other Indian girls have a frizzy hair problem, including me sometimes.
I have straight hair. My mom has straight hair. I have straight hair.
Yeah, you're very lucky with that.
My hair, I've been blessed with. Hair and skin, I've been inherited from my parents.
Okay, now I just want to know one last thing. Give a style secret. And something you've not said to anyone before, something new, because so many girls look up to you. Tell them something you do which will really benefit them and with their personal style.
I always, even if I'm like at the best body shape that I am in, I always wear shapewear underneath my clothes. Always. It doesn't matter because I do not like lines showing through my clothes. Unless it's something really sexy and
shapewear like something to just
smoothen the lines.
Okay.
You know, so I'll always wear, and you get these really light shapewear things where they're not like binding. because I don't like underwear lines showing. I don't like bra lines show. I don't like any of that. So I always wear shapewear and tape, and everything needs to be like, I don't like things showing. So for me, doesn't matter what size you are. I feel like if you want a proper, clean look, you should wear shapewear. That's something actually I learned from you.
Yeah, we did shapewear with Sonam starting from Aisha days to
No,
help
No,
that
but Perns,
situation.
you also made me wear shapewear when I was slim. Because initially when I was slim, because you don't want the thong
No, because it
line
gives
or
a
the
very
under-
nice
it's
overall look. It
yeah,
gives a very, no matter what your shape is, it looks very
it
good.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
unless it's like you're wearing like a transparent dress or something like
Yeah.
that. Like
It's nice for the finishing touch. It looks
yes,
very finished and polished.
yeah.
So the advice I would give as like a style tip is to always wear something that is slightly bigger for you than your size or smaller. Because whenever you wear something that is exactly your size, you may eat a heavy meal, it may get tight, which is a problem I have very often. Or if it's something which is tight for you, you will always look uncomfortable. You will look like you're bulging, but in an outfit that is slightly big for you, you'll never look like that. So that's my little tip, that always buy something slightly bigger.
And I feel like, when we have this privilege in India where we can alter anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe I'm because of being in film for so long, we alter everything.
But in every Indian girl, her gully, nook has a tailor.
Yeah.
Sabke mohalle mein darzees hai, so altering is a very Indian thing. It's not even a film thing.
It's an Indian
It's a very
thing.
Indian thing. Yeah, so we're lucky for that. We're lucky
I love
about
altering everything, and especially with my length, I need to constantly take out the seam. You have the seam or even trousers. When I buy, you get unfinished trousers. I only have to put in that much because I like to wear. Sometimes you like to wear trousers with heels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what's the one thing, if you have to look back on your entire journey, as in terms of your style, or in terms of everything you've worn and thought about and the looks you've created, everything you've done, how does it make you feel? Or what do you think about it when you think about it, the whole thing?
I wish I had, what I do is a lot of the clothes that I've worn, I return back to the designer. And I wish I had an archive of everything that I'd worn, especially for the big events. And I'm actually going to start working on it from next year, where I'll start acquiring whatever I had.
What are you going to do with this archive? Make a museum one day?
I don't know if I make a museum.
Or make a museum, but do an exhibit maybe.
I don't know about that, but I feel like some clothes for sentimental value, I actually figured from Aisha we all kept one thing, right? But I think it's important to kind of, for me, I wish I'd kept some of the things,
I think what you're saying is that a lot of what you wear for important events have a lot of sentimental value.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you remember your journey maybe, through all those occasions, what they meant to you.
Absolutely. So I didn't borrow my wedding clothes and stuff like that. For me, it was important to own it and have my own jewelry. And it wasn't the most extravagant jewelry that I wore.
No, it was antique, and nothing is better than antique.
Yeah, I'd worn that necklace that I wore to my mehendi, I worn it to Cannes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to wear my own jewelry, my mom's jewelry, my mother-in-law's jewelry. That's what I wanted, you know, because that image, it's my wedding, you know what I'm saying? So certain things I wish I had kept like at a premiere or at my first Cannes or that sort of stuff.
How important is it to represent India? Because I know Aishwarya was probably first, but then you were one of the first people to go to a major red carpet from India, representing India. But even now, wearing so many global brands, traveling so much, representing India
it's very important.
On the fashion front, how does that feel? And what does that mean to you?
Well, most things are embroidered in India. Most jewelry is cut in India and made in India. And if we don't represent internationally as well, right, in the world, and I feel like, especially when you have a platform, especially for local indigenous creators and artists and craftsmen, it's very important to represent India. I'm very India proud of our culture, of the way we, and so are you, Perns. I see you wear a lot of...
I wear a lot of vintage and heirloom and
all of that. I think it's very, very, I love it. I mean, I love representing India, and I feel very, I feel my most comfortable in a sari or a Indian outfit, you know.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, I keep saying this is my last question and then I think of something else.
Okay.
Yeah, because I could talk to you all day, but then I've gotten biryani made for Sonam and
I'm
we need to go and
hungry.
eat it.
I'm like, Pernia, can we finish this conversation on the table?
Yeah, we'll finish it on the table. But okay, for camera, one more thing I want to ask, because I think people would be interested, is who do you think from the upcoming girls in India, who do you think, or boys, you think has potential for great style? And I'll also answer it, but first you tell me.
I think Harsh.
Yeah,
for
you
me.
said Harsh already. Yeah.
And
From the girls?
I would say Khushi.
Yeah, she has good style.
She has good style, and she listens to everybody, and she's very open like that. So I think
So for me, it's Babil
Okay.
Khan, Irfan Khan's son.
Okay.
I just find something very again, eclectic
Yeah,
and cool,
yeah.
and I just think it feels very effortless the way he puts
Okay.
himself together. Like I'm a fan of Diljit as well.
Yeah,
but from the
I
young,
think Diljit is great.
From the young people or like just starting out their career,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love him, and I wanted him on the show, and I had a phone conversation with him, and I will get him eventually, and he was just so polite and so sweet. It just made him even more stylish to me. You know,
He's very sweet.
Yeah. And he was like, yes, not now, I'm shooting right now. It was just so sweet. I was like, you're so cute.
He's very sweet.
And your style is great too. From girls, I don't know.
I think Khushi has
I
potential.
don't know. OGs are the best.
Oh
Sorry,
my God.
guys. I'm sorry. I don't know. No one's going to match you.
I don't think that's true,
Or
Pernia.
match what we did. I don't want to sound like whatever, but I hope someone does one day, but like, no, I don't think so.
I mean, I think girls these days are very afraid of what people think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Even those days when we started our careers, girls were very
No,
scared.
but
We didn't care, Sonam, what people thought. We were very different. That's why we were friends.
No,
a lot of girls cared back then
Burns,
also.
Burns,
Yeah.
but it's different now.
It's
with
worse
social,
now.
because of social media
Yeah.
and people commenting and trolling, etc.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they do get a lot of.
There's a too much.
Yeah.
There's too much,
Yeah.
and
A lot of backlash for everything.
Absolutely, like I wore this Richard Quinn dress recently.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, yes, I know the black and white.
Black and white.
Yeah.
And I think it was amazing.
It was very cool.
It was very cool, and it's very me.
Yeah, I saw some trolling on that.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I thought it was an incredible outfit. And Abhilasha, who is actually who's a very good stylist in her own right. She styles men mostly. She's the one who created Fawad Khan's looks in Khoobsurat, and she styles Diljit.
Wow.
And so she used to be Rhea's assistant, and so she and Rhea kind of collaborate to
Style
put this
you.
style. And she was like, people were like abusing me for putting this outfit on you. And I was like, are you serious? And that used to never happen before, where people had their opinion
But they've become very brutal now.
And I was like, honestly, Abhilasha, I don't care. I think I looked amazing, and I don't dress for people, I dress for myself.
Yeah, yeah. And you think young girls are scared of that kind of backlash?
Yeah, and the thing is, people are always going to say something. So you rather have people have conversation about you as opposed to people not giving
Feeling indifferent.
Indifferent, right?
Yeah, if you're talked about, clearly you're affecting them.
and talked about for the right reasons.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
And clothes could be one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any closing remarks, my friend?
I'm so happy to be here and have Pernia's special biryani. Her house food is the best food.
I basically lured her in with biryani.
So she's like, what do you want for lunch? I was like, I want biryani and I want kebabs and I want salad just to make myself feel healthy.
So this conversation we've had with Sonam is an exchange for biryani.
Biryani, yeah.
Easy sell.
Rampuri style.
Yeah, love you.
Love you.